BookTube. Let's talk about the romance in July. I'm Jen, and I talk about audiobooks. And I thought I'd tell you all about the romance that I read in July. So I'll start out with the McCarthys of Gansett Island series by Marie Force. And these are all narrated on audio by Holly Fielding. And I don't like the narration. It is just not for me at all. It's very flat, and so I very quickly switched to ebooks with the first, pretty much about a little ways into the first book. But I got through to book 8, and I'm not going to tell you about each of these books, but I hope to be able to do a review for the whole series. So, great series about a family on an island off the coast of New England, and everybody around them. So, very enjoyable. I love the characters. I love finding out what everybody's doing, and so, yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I picked up a couple of books by Kristin Ashley. On audio, these are narrated by Tillie Hooper, and they are the first 2 books in her Fantasyland series, which are Wildest Dreams and then The Golden Dynasty. The Golden Dynasty was actually a reread for me. I had initially read it as an ebook, but then I picked it up on audio because I saw that it was out on audio, and I thoroughly enjoyed these. These are fantasy, kind of set in a contemporary world where there's a portal to an alternate world. In the first book, a woman goes to this alternate world to kind of have an ultimate vacation, to be honest. Kind of a medieval sort of flavor to it. And then the Golden Dynasty is very reminiscent of the Game of Thrones couple, Daenerys and Drogo. It's set in kind of a desert setting with a group of characters, like a civilization that is very barbaric. And I say barbaric, but they've got their own rules about things. And to a Westerner, they seem very barbaric. So really a great story. She gets kidnapped and sent there. And so Kristin Ashley's main characters are always very, very affable and a lot of fun. And the problems I always have with Ashley's books are that the writing needs so much work. It helps to hear it on audio. The paragraph that is all one sentence long and goes off on 2 or 3 rabbit trails is much easier to follow if it's done in a conversational style on audio. So, you know, I have to say I rated these books probably higher than I would have otherwise because they were on audio. And I gave each one of them 4 stars. Changing Course by Martinez is book 1 in the Wrecked in Ruins series. This on audio is narrated from 2 points of view by Christian Fox and Lucy Rivers. I really like these 2 narrators. I have run across a lot of narrators, like 2 narrators that do a lot of this books together, and so they'll have, like, you pull them up on Audible and they'll have a whole slew of books that 2 of them have done. And so I didn't know if I was going to like them, but I think I've discovered a couple of narrators that I really do like when they do a book together. Now, a lot of the books that they do, I'm not sure I want to read because they are at the far extreme end of the romance genre that I read. But Changing Course I thought was very good. It is all about a guy who is married to a girl. They are sweethearts and they've been married for 7 or 8 years. She's in a car accident and she has a head injury that really changes her personality. So where they have been very much in love, now she can't stand him. She just wants to get away from him. And so he doesn't know what to do with that. All he wants is his wife back. And he keeps thinking if he just hangs in there long enough that she will come back to him. But they live apart. He has not divorced her because it's important to him that she have health insurance and that he kind of check in with her once a week or so and just see if things have changed. She's just horrible to him. Well, he meets a girl who works at a coffee shop and falls in love, and so it becomes then the story of how they deal with all of that. I really liked it. I thought the narration was really good. I liked the story. I liked where it went. I think that Martinez was good at kind of the juxtaposition between this relationship that this guy feels so obligated to, and yet this other relationship that he feels a different kind of obligation to. Like, his heart is involved here, and his heart is involved here too, but there's more of a moral sense of obligation that he doesn't want to leave his wife, because what if she comes back? And then he doesn't want to get into this relationship with this other woman because he doesn't want to break her heart, and she doesn't want that either. So just this, push and pull of these two ideas, I thought that Martinez did a great job with. Your heart was pulled both directions with this romance. So I really liked that. I ended up giving it 4 stars. The next always is book 1 in the In Boonsboro series by Nora Roberts. I had not listened to this. It's narrated by MacLeod Andrews. I did it for the Booktubeathon. I talked about it there, so I will just refer you to that. But I really liked it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. And lastly, The Bird and the Sword by Amy Herman. I read this as an ebook, and it is a fantasy romance. So it's adult. This was a wonderful story that really highlighted the ideas of being faithful and being persistent in your belief and your faith in your partner, and how love really requires you sometimes to go through some hard stuff, and by that I mean in your faithfulness to your spouse and even to your fiance. So a lot of moral dilemmas going on, and which one is the better one? So, nice little conflict going on there, and it was a beautiful story that ended up being just so affirming of love in its many forms and its hardships, and most of all, what it requires of you to be able to stay faithful to not just a person, but a love. So really liked that one, gave it 4 stars. And that's all the romance I read in July. If you've read any of these books and had a better or worse or otherwise opinion about them, please let me know in comments. Let's get a conversation going there, and that is it for now for me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.